185 miles south. A hardcore punk rock podcast.
Hey guys, the pod this week was really fun. Trying to show some love to the Roadcrew. All the roadies out there helping out. Just really keeping things going for the bands. So I had on a plethora of dudes that I love and respect. So stay tuned for that. If you want to support the podcast, please like, rate, review, subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. Also, please share the podcast. Share it on social media. Call up your buddies. Tell them, something you enjoy listening to, if you do. And also, please consider becoming a Patreon. That helps out immensely. That's at patreon.com/185 miles south. And you can donate $1, $3, $5, whatever you can afford a month to keep the show going. And, also, you can cancel anytime. I won't be offended. I really appreciate all the help and support everyone gets, all the positive things people have said, and I hope you enjoy this. I'll keep doing it as long as you guys continue enjoying it, or until I get sick of it. Fuck it. But anyway, here is the Roadcrew podcast. This episode, we're doing We Are the Roadcrew special episode. We are the Roadcrew. We got Albert Moshard, who has toured with, he dropped out of high school to tour with In Control in the year 2002. Then he went on the road with No Motiv. And then who did you do after No Motiv?
The Warriors.
You did the Warriors after No Motiv?
Yep. And then I did this band from Australia called Day of Contempt.
Okay.
Then after them, I did a band called Tiger Army.
Yeah, that is your jump to professionalism.
Yeah, that was my jump. And then I did RX Bandits and a bunch of different things after that. Did the U's, I've done the Decemberists. Currently doing a band Mogwai from Scotland. Mm-hmm. Whenever they come out to the U.S. and touring right now with John Bellion.
And then who is the guitarist guy? Wasn't there like a Latino guitarist dude? No?
No, that was Thorns.
Oh.
You guys were talking about Thorns before. He's the one that did...
I know, we got to get Thorns in here too.
Robin Gabriella or whatever.
Yeah. Okay, we also got Luis, and he's the roadie for Take Offense. And also the painter here at Max Woodco. And have you only toured with Take Offense? You done roadie for anything else?
I've done other local bands and stuff. PSO was the first band I ever toured with, and then
shout out PSO. You want to tour with PSO?
Yeah, that was the first tour I went on was with them.
Where'd they tour?
It was just a US tour.
But you did full US.
I don't know if it was full US. It was I have to look at the...
Lean forward a little bit.
I have to look at the itinerary or whatever it is.
Itinerary.
Itinerary.
Yeah.
But I think it was mainly just it was a West Coast tour.
Yeah.
I think we went Texas and Arizona and Oregon.
Well, you can't remember if you were in New York or not?
No, I'm pretty sure I wasn't. That's why I was just but I wasn't sure if we I'm pretty sure Texas was the farthest they went.
Yeah.
Hey, fucking Google, where was my tour?
Well, Luis helped me clean out my attic the other day, and he was tripping because I found an old In Control itinerary. Yeah. That's basically all the directions written out for every show, and that's
I remember that.
That was something that does not exist anymore.
No, absolutely not. We had directions from each club, leaving your house to every single club.
Yeah. It's and it was club to club too. So to fill in the gaps, you had to use the fucking guide.
Yeah.
The big guide or
the road map.
Yeah. And you get free maps at AAA and shit. But a fucking different time. Now, we were super blessed that we toured after MapQuest was out.
Yeah.
But even MapQuest was in its infancy then because a lot of times it would take you to this city center if you're going to a smaller town. And then also it wouldn't suggest shit. Do you remember that one time we thought we were playing Houston, and I think whoever was in charge of that day we like went to Houston, but we were supposed to be in La Porte, which is like a Houston suburb. So we ended up in the fucking ghetto, like at this laundromat, and we're like, I think that's where we're playing, and it was like feasible because it's like, well, we've played places like that before, you know. But we're like, no, this address isn't right. And then like we called someone, they're like, dude, you guys are like 30 minutes away from the show, like get on the freeway, you know.
That might have been right before me.
Nah, you would have been there because it was like, that was 03. That was like our best tour. That was the final Tony tour, I think.
Okay,
yeah. Because we played with Pride Kills.
Yes.
In La Porte, and like, because they were all fired up, like, oh, you guys covered Gigi Allen, let's go for it.
Yeah.
You know. So, Luis, I'm sure you want to go home. So you want to tell your road story?
I'm going through my phone, seeing if I have any other ones.
Okay. So, Albert, let's just start like with talking about your journey. So, who are you, dude? You're just like a dude that grew up in Nard, huh?
Yeah, I'm just a dude that grew up in Nard. I kind of hung out with a few of the hardcore kids. I grew up with Danny Lopez, skateboarding and stuff. He's the one that got me actually the first like few hardcore tapes. You know, he had a Buried Alive 7-inch. He put that on tape for me.
Yeah.
You know, a couple other random stuff. So that was my first taste of hardcore before I...
And you're how old now?
I'm 34.
Okay.
And at this point I was 14.
Yeah. So like freshman?
Yeah. So he was doing all that. And then I ended up, you know, he was playing Whatever It Takes. Mm-hmm. So I ended up meeting...
Shout out Whatever It Takes.
Yep.
Moshard for Oxnard.
Ended up meeting Milo and Javier and that whole crew.
Yeah. It was like the crew, like a tiny generation younger than me. Actually, maybe not. Maybe a good 4 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, you're in that crew with like the Javi, like the Warriors dudes.
Yeah. Javier and Ulysses actually had PE with me my freshman year.
At Nard High?
Yeah. So we kind of hung out there.
Yeah. Whatever It Takes was sick.
Yeah.
I remember they came out in that demo. Fucking, what were the two hits? Moshard for Oxnard and one other one. I can't fucking remember. I need it. Like this, the CDR demo is like the graveyard of hardcore.
Yeah.
You know, like who's gonna remember that shit?
They covered Ill Repute.
They did cover Ill Repute. Okay, so then like you started a band Within a Dream. You and Adam Hanlon.
Yeah.
Of Eyes Full of Rage fame.
Yep.
Shout out Hanlon.
And Kevin Brooks.
And then you did Within a Dream, and then that was around the time that you tried to do In Control, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
You asked me to come on board and play bass for In Control because Robert had just left.
Yeah, Robert left, and then we did the Jason thing, and that's a funny story.
Yeah.
Right. I don't know if I've told it on the pod before. So we were gonna play a night with the Dead Kennedys when it was Brandon Cruz singing, and we had this guy Jason playing bass for us, and we go to pick him up like on the way to the show, and there's a note on the door that says like, "Hey guys, I don't want to be in the band anymore."
Yeah.
And we're like, "What the fuck?" Like we're playing this show in like 2 hours, you know, in Hollywood, you know. We're like, "Fuck, I don't know what to do." So we drive over to Robert's house and like wake him up. You know, it's like 6 p.m. He's just like fucking drinking fucking a 40 and like watching anime, right?
Robert style.
Just fucking Robert Martinez style. And fucking we're like, Robert, we need you, dude. We got to go to LA right now to play with like Dead Kennedys, you know? And it was just like, he's like, I don't fucking remember songs, you know, this and that. We're like, fuck it, let's just play 6 songs. Let's go. We got to go. And he like saved our ass that night. But then, so after that show, and that show was wild. It was like 1,000 people, you know?
Yeah.
And like people didn't even like realize it wasn't Jello. Like it was just like raging.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know? It was fucking wild. So, but after that show, we needed a bass player because we had a 5-week tour coming up. 5 or 6 weeks. It was like the longest one we ever did, and it was based around Posse Numbers Fest in 2002. And so you tried out and it didn't work out because you didn't know how to play bass.
No, what it was Ryan came up to me. I wasn't the greatest bass player. I was still learning, but I had some of the songs down. You know, I had a few songs down. Ryan just comes up to you right before you walk in. He hears your car and he goes, "Whatever you do, don't fuck up. Nothing pisses off Zach more than someone fucking up. And I'm just like, and I'm 16 at this point.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm like, what? And he goes, yeah, just don't fuck up and you'll be fine. And I was like, okay, I just started learning the songs. I'm probably going to fuck up somewhere. And then, so we did a couple songs, and I was just so nervous that I was like, you know what? I'm done. I don't want to do this. I don't want to piss you off.
And I was 22 and way younger and more serious, right?
Well, I mean, it wasn't anything that, like, you being serious, because you weren't even upset.
Oh, yeah.
You were just like, oh, all right, cool.
Well, it was like you came in and, like, couldn't play.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know what this move is. Like, this is a tryout, but you couldn't play, like, the E string. And it was, like, a trip to me because you were playing in, like, that Within a Dream band that was, like, trying to sound like Poison the Well and shit.
Yeah.
I'm like, so if he was doing that, how can he not do this?
Ryan just scared the shit out of me. That's basically what it was, because I was just like, okay, like, and then I just got really nervous.
You shut
like,
down.
Yeah, and it was like, all right, fuck this, I'm not.
Yeah.
But then you asked me, like, hey, do you want to come on tour anyways? I was like, all right, cool.
Well, it was like, what people don't realize is that was like a week or two before the tour went.
Yeah.
We just assumed that you were going to like, because maybe Jason quit like a month before, and then we're like, ah, fuck it, we got Albert. And we've always just had bass players come in and be okay.
Yeah.
And then so like, it was like, oh my God, like we don't have a bass player and we're leaving in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know, nowadays it seems like everyone is able to get a fill-in. Like it's so easy, but back then it was like miserable.
Well, because of the internet.
Maybe.
You know, it's like, here's our songs.
That's true.
And also, you guys were recording
Yeah.
the second LP at the time, too.
That's right. We were in the middle of it. Yeah. Oh, holy shit. That's so crazy. Anyway, so we felt bad because you dropped out of high school.
Yeah.
And we were like, well, he dropped out of high school to join the band and go on tour, so we got to at least bring him along.
Yeah, so I ended up coming along. Dave from Die Hard Youth ended up coming in.
Yeah,
saving the day.
We begged him.
Yeah.
I had to beg Dave to come. And I don't know. It was like, I think about it now and I'm like, well, what did he get? He got like $10 a day for food and that's it. So like basically like he did it for a free month of Taco Bell.
Yeah.
you know, like that's not that big of a bribery.
But that's kind of what it was back then.
Yeah.
You know, people didn't have agents the same way that, you know, every band is like, oh, okay, you know, the internet kind of helps you.
Yeah. Yeah, it's more, I mean, there was the internet, but there was not high-speed internet.
No, and it's not the same. It's like, you know, in order to get your music up, you can't just go on your phone and be like, oh, cool, let me listen to this band real quick. Oh, yeah, that sounds cool.
Right, right. Yeah. So Dave saved our ass, and thank you, Dave Diehard. We love you still.
Ryan paid you back in Missouri.
Yeah, so fucking Ryan puts his balls on his face like 5 days into tour.
While he's asleep.
Yeah.
It's hot as hell. Super muggy.
It was like Kirksville, Missouri balls like on your face, dude.
Yeah.
That's a bummer. And like, I think that changed his attitude.
Yeah, because Dave didn't want to be there.
No, he was already over it.
Yeah, he's a homebody, and he's just there, and we're just laughing.
Okay, so that brings us up to speed on Albert and starting his roadie journey, which he still continues today, which is awesome. Luis, you want to tell your story?
I remembered a few now.
Okay, well, let's do one. Who's it with?
This one was just take offense. It was just the first one I thought of when I could think of like something funny that happened on tour. I just remember it was in Europe. I want to say it was in Germany. We were staying. It was after a show. We were staying at this like really, really nice house. It was like on a farm alone. And I was just like, "Whoa, this is insane!" Like this lady was like, "Oh no one's here right now. There's no kids. Like you guys could each get out of your own room." So they're all sitting downstairs eating food and like talking and having like a deep convo. And I have to go take a dump. So I just asked her where the bathroom was, and she shows me and. Well, I dropped my dunker and I tried to flush it and it just nothing was happening, and I started panicking. I was like, "What the fuck?" And I'm flushing it again, and I'm like, "Nothing is happening." It's just like a really like little bit of water just comes out, and I'm just like, "Is my poop that big or what?" So like I'm honestly in there for I think about like think like 30 minutes.
You trying to will it down the toilet?
I'm just trying to figure out how to flush it. I'm going through her cupboards and trying to find some, like, she had no plunger, nothing. So I'm just like tripping, and I'm like, what do I do? So finally I give up, and I go outside, and I'm walking down the stairs, and I see all of them quietly on the table, just like talking into like a really deep conversation. And I'm just like, I look at Greg, and I'm just like, Greg, can you come here? And everyone just stops and looks at me. What's wrong? And then the homeowner just is like, is everything okay up there? I'm just like, I don't want you to come up. Like, I'm just like, no, it's a guy thing. Greg, can you come here? And everyone's just staring at me, and I'm just like, Greg, I just need you. I don't know how else to explain it. And he finally comes up, and I'm just like, it won't flush. I don't know what the fuck to do. I was like, I don't think my poop's that big. And he's like, no, that's a big poop. And I really can't remember what I did in order to get it down. It might have been something that I want to even say, like, I don't think I did that.
You sacrificed a shoe?
Just his hand, barehanded?
I think I might have just grabbed the plastic bag and thrown it in the trash and then just thrown it out.
Yeah.
I couldn't figure out how to flush that toilet, and neither could he. And he was just like, yeah, it's just like, I don't think anyone takes as big as poops as you. And I couldn't figure out how to flush. And I come back downstairs, and she's like, I know what happened. It's okay.
See, you should have asked her. She knew what's up with her toilet.
I think, yeah, I was just like, I was new home. It was just huge, and everything was fancy. So I was just like, I don't want to tell you. I don't want you to come up and see my poop.
you know that happened to me the first day I was working at Laser Star. So, like, they came to me. I'd just gotten hired on at this laser tag place in Oxnard that we used to do shows at. And, like, but I worked there as a normal job, like, making pizzas and teaching kids how to play laser tag and shit. And, like, they want to fuck with the new guy. And they're like, hey, the men's bathroom, like, toilet's clogged or whatever. And I was like, all right, cool. Like, where's the plunger? They're like, oh, there isn't one. They just gave me a fucking glove. It's like, this fucking place.
Nice.
Damn.
All right. You want to come with number 2?
The second one was, again, back in Europe. It was in Slovakia. We got to this show, and all these dudes, they were in like this, I think the crew was called Outcast, or I think it was called Outcast Crew or Outcrowd, something like that. But remember, they came up and they were just like super hyped for everyone to be there. They're just like, yeah, you guys are sick, you guys are great, like, we love your band, we're so excited, we're gonna do something that we never do for any bands that come here except for you guys because we love you. And we're like, oh, what? And they're like, oh, we're gonna have fire. And we're like, what the fuck does he mean? He's like, yeah, he's like, one of the guys is gonna set himself on fire. I was like, oh, okay, all right, dude. And in my mind, I'm thinking like during the show, there's gonna be like some side attraction or some like professionals and there's some circus type shit, because you know this is a really big venue. So I'm just like, oh, that's cool. Like we get to watch some like acrobatic fire things and shit. But yeah, the whole night they're just like, yeah, we're gonna set. You guys are gonna see him on fire, and just like super amped up about it. So, you know, show goes on and we all forget about it, I think. And I don't see any acrobats, and I'm like, all right, whatever. So Take Offense starts playing, and I'm just like chilling with them. I always try to record like songs and stuff and hear how they sound and whatnot. So I had my camera and I was about ready to record themselves when all of a sudden I see like this bright light right next to me. And this dude fucking lit himself on fire. He had a trench coat on, dipped it in gasoline, and fucking, like, someone was lighting him, and this fool just started pitting. Actually, it wasn't one. It was like 3 different guys, actually. 3 different guys running in a circle with a fucking trench coat, and I just turned my camera around, and I'm in shock. I'm just like, what the fuck is happening? And they're just circle pitting and fucking on fire. And I'm like, I'm hyped, and then I realize, like, wait, what the fuck? If they bump into me, I'll be on fire. So I'm just, like, backing up now, and just, I look at everyone playing, and everyone's just like, what the fuck? And yeah, they're just all hyped as fuck. And yeah, they take off their trench coat and they just stomp them out and continue pitting like nothing. And they're just like, yeah, we fucking love Take Offense. We only do these for fucking Take Offense. You guys are worth it. And I'm just like, what the fuck?
That's fucked up, dude. They made fire for you, and you didn't even remember their crew name.
I'm pretty sure
pretty
Outcrowd.
That's fucked up, dude. Even they did 3 dudes.
Outcast. It was Outcast.
Oh,
I was correct.
Shout out Outcast crew.
Slovakia.
There you go.
They fucking, just circle pitted on fire. 3 different guys. I was just like, wow, you're really fucking nuts out here.
That's a rager.
Yeah, and just like, it's fucking what owner of the venue is just like, it fucking happens all the time. Just like chill with it and shit, yeah.
You fucking put them on blast. They're like, dude, they did that last Tuesday.
They did it for a local band's first show.
I know. They're like, dude, I saw them do that at a kid's birthday party last weekend.
They're professionals, actually.
I know, they really are. they're them fire boys. Well, that's pretty good, dude.
Yeah, it was just shit that I was just like not expecting to happen. And I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that's wild. I think I remember seeing the video.
Yeah.
Is it on YouTube?
I think they posted it on Facebook and Twitter, and it was just being retweeted and reposted all the time.
Gotcha.
And I still have it on my phone. It's one of those I'm like, I can't delete that video.
Yeah.
It's just like I just turned around and like as soon as I started the video, everyone's just like like so happy to be on fire. And I'm like, wow, what great people.
What do you remember about like tour the first time, Albert? Like, what was our routing?
All right, so the first time was probably for me going to any other state outside of California.
That was the first time you traveled out of California?
Yeah.
So did we go...
We went to Vegas.
We started Vegas.
The Hammer House.
Oh, I totally remember that show.
Yeah, so I remember waking up, because we drove through the night, waking up in Vegas, and it was like 95 degrees already.
Yeah, and Nick came on the tour as well, right?
No, it was just me on the first one.
Oh. We must have played the Hammer House twice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was just me on the first one.
Okay.
And woke up, it was hot as all fuck.
Yeah.
At like 8 or 9 a.m.
7 a.m. in Vegas.
Probably.
Yeah.
And it's like a junkyard.
Yeah.
So that's where we started, and then from there, I think we did Salt Lake.
Yeah, I don't think so. Did we? No, you're right. You're right. That was the one time that we went and played Salt Lake.
Yeah.
It was like south of it though, right? Like Provo or some shit.
Yeah, it was something.
It was like that. It was that gym.
Yeah.
It was like a huge gym that was like emptied out because they had like lockers and showers and shit.
Yeah.
That was weird.
It was definitely a
And we must have driven through the night that night because we were there all fucking day.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, I remember that. It was like just going to like Taco Bell and like just all the chicks were like super hot.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck is up with Utah, dude?
It's crazy.
You know? It's like, what the fuck? Anyway, that's a weird thing to think about for Utah.
Yeah.
But, yeah, then we go probably Colorado.
Yeah, we stopped in this random town. I remember because there was a swimming spot that you guys had gone to the year before.
Yeah.
We stopped to go in the river.
Yeah, I think that on that tour we were trying to swim like every single day.
Yeah.
So like in Vegas, is that when we went? Did we like go to Tropicana or anything? Did we try to go swim?
We tried to.
Okay, and we got kicked out?
Yeah.
Okay. I think we were trying to swim like every day because, yeah, we went to that. It was a little town called Silt. Yeah, Silt, Colorado.
Yeah.
But it was like too cold, right?
It was way too cold.
In like, that would have been like July or something, though.
No, it was May. But it was still...
Was pausing numbers in May or June?
It was probably in June.
It might have been in the very beginning of June then, huh?
The middle of June, because we left late May.
Okay. Yeah. That's wild.
Yeah, because, we went there and we stopped at this little diner place. Mm-hmm. I remember walking in because that was my first experience, probably those people's first experience of seeing a brown person.
That's like really what it felt like, huh?
Oh, yeah.
And we were like, it was like a small place with like 7 or 8 tables, and like we were the table in the middle.
Yeah. And everybody knew, like, as I remember it being so crazy because this woman's like, well, where are we going to sit him?
What?
Oh, well, sit him. Yeah. She's like, because I overheard that, and she's like, well, sit him over there. Like, no, so-and-so is coming. We already have his meal being cooked up. And I was like, guy's not even here yet, and they already know what he wants.
We already got his ham on the grill.
Yeah. Like, he's coming in, at whatever time he normally comes in.
Yeah. That's fucking service, dude.
Yeah, and I was like, whoa.
On one end of the spectrum is 3 dudes lighting themselves on fire and then having their crew name forgotten.
Yeah.
And on the other end of the kindness scale is them cooking a meal for you before you even show up to the diner.
Yeah. Dude, I remember that being wild, and none of us ate meat. We were all vegetarian.
That's right. Except maybe Dave, huh?
No,
Dave was vegetarian too? Yeah, so that was another weird thing. It's like, oh, first we got this dark guy in there, and then and now they don't want meat? Are these guys...
what do you mean no meat?
Yeah, what?
Yeah, so that was an exciting one. That was an experience for me because I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, that's weird.
I'm out of my element.
Yeah, and that's Colorado. Like, Colorado's kind of cool.
Yeah, no, definitely. But it was just definitely like a small-ass town.
Yeah, it was closer to the Utah side.
Yeah. I remember we were going around, the Colorado River, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And you try to pole vault over.
What?
Yeah, because the water still had ice in it.
Fuck.
And you were trying to pull, because who was it? Ryan jumped over.
Oh, that was like all the way up in that was after we met the Monolith is War guys and shit, though. No, that was out east.
No, that was on that trip.
Really?
Yeah, this was a different time, because you tried to pole vault over the water and just didn't make it. And just landed, you're like, all right, fuck it. And just walk through the rest of the time we were going through. Because we were trying to find a spot to go swimming, but the water was just so cold.
Yeah, and I remember we found a spot that was like a hot springs, but they were charging like $20 or something. Yeah. We're like, fuck that. So anyway, yeah, let's just jump into you telling a funny story. You have some written down, yeah?
I've got some stories. We could start off with the one at the Triple Rock.
Okay.
Was it Holding On's last show?
Yeah, Holding On's last show. And then Modern Life is War.
Yeah, they played.
Dude, do you remember how good that set was?
Dude, the whole night was just...
I know. And then Kill Your Idols.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was at the tour... We did a little run with Kill Your Idols, working up to that show, right?
Yes.
We played there's some... Because there's
From
some...
the East Coast.
Right, working our way back. Because there's some side stories on that. Do you remember we played... It was a really cool club in the Quad Cities. And it was a smaller show. There was probably 60 people. It was Holding On, Kill Your Idols, In Control. And then we go out to dinner at that diner afterwards. And it was just a total normal night. We eat this diner and we come outside. And that apron that's around some diners, the kind of that outdoor curtain thing that hangs around and goes up. How would you describe that? Am I describing that properly?
It's not like I can describe it as a curtain.
It's that curtain that runs along the roof outside of the diner. And someone's like, "Whoa, look at all those spiders!" And it was like, "Holy fuck!" Do you remember that? There was there was 40,000 spiders, dude. That whole space between the curtain thing and the building, was caked with that cloudy spider web, and then just tens of thousands of them, and it went all the way around the building. It was oh my god, this is the scariest fucking thing I've ever seen in my life. It's and we were dude, we gotta call the Jackass guys up here and have them put on stilts and run with their head through this shit,
Yeah.
Dude, that was fucked. And then the other one was we played that. It was a house in Indianapolis.
Yeah.
And you remember
Kill
it
Your
was
Idols.
with Kill Your Idols and Holding On, and it was the drummer of Still Crossed came up.
Yeah.
Because they were on the label at the time. And we're playing in that tiny little room that probably held 20 people.
Yeah.
And he was just ninja moshing the fuck out of everyone.
It wasn't the drummer. It was the bass player.
It was a bass player? No, but it was... No.
Okay.
Because he was a skinny kid.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. If Rich...
He would have smashed everybody.
Yes.
He's a fucking big dude.
If Rich would have ninja moshed in that room, it would have been fucking toothpicks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? No, it was their drummer. It was just oh shit,
and
that's cool that he's killing it for us, but I feel awkward.
It's funny because it was kind of like a PC house.
Yeah.
And I was wearing a One Life Crew shirt.
Yeah. So then we play those little shows and then it leads up to that one. So we get to the Triple Rock, which is one or two of the guys from Dillinger 4, they used to have a bar and grill in Minneapolis.
With amazing po' boys.
Yeah, that veggie po' boy.
Yep.
Woo-wee.
Yeah. So we get there. The show's crazy. Everyone's just hanging out. Two of the guys from Holding On at that point had sold out. And they were drinking, so they were going crazy. It was like their first night out.
Yeah, and it's their last show, so they're like getting it on.
Yeah.
And they drew like it's 500 or 600 kids.
Yeah, there's a lot of people, so everyone's just drinking, going crazy, and you're so it's the end of the night, and we're also hanging out. You come up to me holding a chair, wrestling style, and you're like, "Let me hit you with this chair." I was like, "No,"
because I was wasted.
Yeah,
yeah, because like earlier in the night, like I was doing shots with Gary and Patty from D4, Gary from Clear Isles, Patty from D4, and like I was wasted. Not that it's an excuse.
No. But also, you and Ryan were the only drivers because I wasn't old enough to drive then. I didn't even have a driver's license.
That's right.
Dave didn't drive, and Tony.
We didn't trust him.
Yeah, it's Tony. So it was just you two. So you guys never really drank. Even for Ryan, that was like incredible because that fool drank every day.
And I think he was asleep in the van. Like he missed all this.
No, he had gotten up.
Okay.
He had gotten up, but he wasn't really drinking because you were drinking.
Okay, so he had to drive.
Yeah, he had to drive. So
I come up to you and I'm like,
yeah.
Albert, I'm going to hit you with this fucking chair. And you guys are like sitting down. There's like 10 people sitting at like a long table.
Yeah. And I was like, no. You're like, why not? And I was like, because that's not a good idea. And I had my hands up. And like, put your hands down, motherfucker. And I was like, no. And by this time, Adam Lentz is playing bass for In Control. And he's sitting down watching all this, but he just has his hands down. And you try to throw the chair at me. It ends up hitting him and cutting his face open. Fuck. And everyone kind of thinks you're an asshole. Why'd you do that to him? Even though it was like clearly towards me, supposed to be towards me.
I know, I was trying to hit you.
Who was paying attention.
I know. But you're like the only guy, like, yeah, it was like we were arguing. I was like, oh, put your hands down. No. Come on, put your hands down. No. Yeah. And no one else is paying attention. And so then when I finally throw the chair, you like ducked it.
Yeah.
And then it just hit the dude next to you.
Yeah, it just cut Lance straight in the head.
Poor guy. He got it good. Because he was like bad. Like might have needed stitches bad.
You know what? Yeah, Ryan was in the van.
Yeah, because you went and got him.
He went to go sit in the van because he had a cut. And Ryan's like, what happened to you? And that's when Ryan came out. And was like, what happened? So I explained the story to him. And he goes, oh, okay.
I'm sorry, Adam. That was bad.
It was a good time, though. Next time, put your hands up.
I mean, there was like a good 2 minutes of warning.
Oh, yeah.
It was totally stupid.
But it's like everyone around should have known because it's not like you were being quiet about it.
No, but it does suck because it was like a really heavy chair. It was like it was not a heavy chair, but like it wasn't a folding chair.
No,
it was like one of those like conference chairs with like the real metal on it.
Yeah. I mean, so it definitely that was more reason to be like keep your head on a swivel to pay attention. That's why I was surprised that like everyone was just like kind of like, huh?
Yeah. And
I'm like sitting with my hands up, like, don't throw it.
Well, you've been around me and Ryan enough to know.
Oh yeah.
Like it gets stupid.
Yeah, I mean, and everyone was having a good time. So.
Yeah.
Like, they don't even use those chairs in WWE. Like, they have, like, specialized, like, lighter-made ones and shit.
Yeah.
Zach wanted to be Hulk Hogan that night.
Well, what night didn't I?
Yeah.
You know? Except the night that Hogan dropped all the N-bombs and fucking broke my childhood. Fucker.
Say it ain't so, Hogan.
I know. Say it ain't so. Fucking Hulk Stewart.
Yeah.
Shit, sorry.
Wasn't he like, there's like an interview, he's just like, yeah, my daughter's pretty fucking hot.
Oh, I don't know. But he was mad that she was like dating a black dude.
Oh, that's what it was.
And it's like, that's like real racism from like the worst place.
Yeah.
And it's like, that fucking sucks.
Yeah.
That's so fucking lame. You know? Like, that's not even like casually being ignorant. That's like, I don't know.
He's probably mad because George Foreman took the grill from him.
That's right. Yeah, but he got fucking, what did he get? The Hulksteros, like, or his spaghetti restaurant?
Yeah.
Hulk Hogan's Spaghetti Palace?
Yeah.
No, Pasta Mania.
Oh.
I got Pasta Mania, bro. Anyway. All right. Hit me with another, Albert. That was pretty good.
Well, there's that. I mean, you got to think about, we did a lot of really cool shit, you know, for being in a super budget, like DIY. The van was on another level. you know.
Yeah, well, we just had a family van that inevitably got like destroyed, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we had it. It served us well.
Yes, it had character.
Yeah, it had character. Definitely burned your leg if you were sitting in the passenger side.
And your leg got wet if you were driving.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was,
It was always something, you know.
I forgot that it was hot on the passenger side.
Yeah, it melted a bottle once that I put there.
Fuck.
And I was like, holy shit.
Because you always hear like the driver complaining that it was cold.
Yeah.
Because there was that hole there.
Yeah, and then like the other side is just like, dude, I'm on fire. Like, what do you mean? It's freezing. Like, no.
Yeah, we tried to do fun stuff during the day because there was no guarantee that the show would be good.
Yeah, so
Right.
we made the best out of the situation we had. You know, we tried to stop to go swimming. We got season passes to Six Flags. Mm-hmm. You know, and what was it, in Dallas maybe? Mm-hmm. Those kids came up to or were following us for a few rides and asked us if we were No Effects. They asked me, "Are you guys in No Effects?" Zach comes in. Yep.
Yeah, that's what I would have said. Just go with it. Yep.
Oh my god.
Well, because like Ryan on tour, he wouldn't cut his hair because he didn't have his mom's Flowbee
Yeah.
with him, you know?
The bird nest.
It's so fucking... he was kind of a long hair, and then Tony was a long hair, and
Yeah.
then we got Albert, which they totally thought was El Jefe.
Yeah.
And then I just must have been Fat Mike.
Yeah.
You know, it was like, yeah, you notice these kids like following us. Then we're like, what the fuck? Then they like follow us. But if you're being followed in like a theme park,
Yeah.
it's like
fucking-
it could just be normal. Like we're going the same sequence of rides. But then when we left, we realized they were still following us. We're like, what the fuck? And they're like, hey, are you guys in No Effects? We're like, why, yes, we are. You know, and then we signed a bunch of shit for them.
Yeah. I mean, because at that point, the internet wasn't the same. So
Yeah.
you couldn't just look it up.
Yeah, you can
Yeah,
look it
you're
up on
right.
the
You didn't have a
spot.
phone. You were just like guessing. Like, I think I've seen them, and that's how they look like.
Did we take a picture with him?
Oh, sure, for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
For sure. So, like, they're going to, like, be bragging to all their friends. Then they're going to, like, 2 weeks later, the photos are going to get developed, and their friends are going to be like, you fucking posers.
I
Yeah.
bet you their friends were still like staring at the fucking like album covers, and they were like comparing pictures and
Right.
shit.
Or
Like,
probably like they're just on tour. This is how they look on tour.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah,
You know,
they're
like,
confused
no, it
as
was
well.
them for sure.
Yeah.
It was them for sure. They just looked all fucked up.
Yeah. 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 It
The
was,
Six Flags thing was brilliant because, like, I don't know if it's still like that or not, but basically, if you had a season pass for one Six Flags, it would work at all of them. And so that really worked out for us on tour because Oxnard is only about 45 minutes away from Six Flags Magic Mountain in, like, Valencia. But we had the pass, and it was like $60 or $80 for the year, and you were able to go to all of them, which was like rad. We went to like, I don't know,
went to a
6
lot
or
of
8 of them, right?
Yeah.
Because like Ohio, fucking DC,
we went to the
Boston,
one, yeah, Massachusetts. whatever.
Massachusetts, and then there's like 3 in Texas,
Yeah.
alone.
I thought there was only one Six Flags.
No, they're
I'm
they're
blown
all
away
over.
right now.
They're everyone,
Yeah.
dude. And it's sick because fucking like in Texas, you know, it's super hot, and like they have a water park attached, so that's included. So you like go to the water park.
Yeah, go swim.
That's one. Remember we go up, and it's like this big like tube slide, and it's like you got to walk up like 8 stories of stairs or whatever, and we all go up and we go, and we're like waiting the bottom. We're like, where's Tony? And we look up and we see like Tony taking the walk of shame like down the stairs and shit.
No.
And we're like, what's up, Tony? And you know, they fucking told me I had to take my shirt off. It's like, dude, who gives a shit? Like, you're in Texas with a bunch of dudes. Like, take your shirt off. Come on.
No one's gonna be checking you
To
out.
go on,
Yeah.
like the ride was so fast.
Yeah.
Dude, the slide was so fast that you just went down.
Yes.
And
it'll
like-
literally be off for 2.3 seconds.
Yeah. But yeah, he decided I'm not fucking getting off.
Yeah. But that was a good thing about Tony. He had his principles like that.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You know, he was going to stick to it. Like, that doesn't make sense to you. Make me take my shirt off.
Yep.
Fuck that. It doesn't. If girls can wear swimsuits and shit, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
Tony was definitely set in his ways. He was a character.
Yeah. I'm trying to think about, like, when we did the In Control DVD, and there was, like, that one clip of him, like,
Walking barefoot.
yeah, walking barefoot. So that was in New Hampshire.
Yeah.
I remember for sure. But I don't remember why he was mad and why he stormed off.
There was a lot of incidents.
It was so cold.
Probably mad at me for something.
It was so
I had
cold.
no idea. It was, yeah. And you guys wake me up like, hurry, we got to record. It's like, where's Tony? And then like we just film him walking with no. It was raining too. It was cold rain,
and it was like right on the verge of like rain and snow.
Yeah,
it was so cold.
Yeah, there was another good one where he had all his stuff. He was mad at something, and he was getting out of the van, and he had all his stuff piled up by the door, and he ends up like his foot gets caught as he's getting out, and just slams into the floor, like straight out of the van.
Oh,
and
Jesus.
just lands, and me and Nick just look at each other, and we're just like, holy shit.
It's like you can't laugh or he's gonna snap.
Yeah. So we both just like cover each other, like we just covered our heads, and we're just like children, just like trying not to laugh. And he goes, God, I fucking hate this shit, and punches his back, like, because he couldn't be mad at anybody because it was his stuff.
Yeah.
That was one that me and Nick talk about. We're just like, fuck, man. Imagine if we would have laughed, what would have happened?
Well, Tony, oh my God. Remember, like, he fucking straight up threw a beat on Ryan's blanket.
Yeah.
Like, Ryan found it. It was like, hey, dude, like, what is that? Tony, what? And he fucking threw a beat on his blanket. It's like, don't do it, dude. Don't do it.
Yeah.
But, yeah. That's that.
It was another one where I had just turned 18. So we were in Dallas, and we go to a strip club. It was my first time going to a strip club. It was bring your own beer.
Yeah.
So the guys who could drink. And at this point, I mean, we were all working to make money for tour.
Yeah.
And Tony had run out of money by this point because we were in the last stretch of the tour.
Yeah.
And Zach and Ryan bought beers for themselves. And Tony was mad because they weren't sharing. It's like, dude, buy your own fucking beer.
Yeah.
And we were going home.
But that was funny because you mentioned like the 21 and the 18 because so it's bring your own beer, but the way that they like make it be known if you're under 21 is you have to buy a shirt from like the strip club. Yeah. And all they had was like this quadruple X like white shirt. And so Albert's like looking like he was a fucking Casper the Friendly Ghost.
Yeah, I had to wear the biggest shirt. It was massive.
What he wasn't on the stealing game. Hitting legs.
No, so well Tony like his dad helped him out a lot and like that was why me and Ryan cut him off that night actually was because his dad was like sending him money in Western Union like in the middle of the tour several times, and like we're all trying to live off $10 a day, and then like he would just go to the gas station to spend $20 on like chips and dip and shit. So like we were really jealous, yeah. And then like he wouldn't like chip in on beer, but still like drink beer. And then it was like that night it was like coming up on the end of the tour, and we were just at the strip club, just bring your own beer, and like. Me and Ryan were like, well, what they try to do in those places is they try to sell you ice because they think you're going to bring a shit ton of beer. You want your beer to stay cold, And I think me and Ryan were like, oh, let's just go in. We'll get some Keystone talls and we'll just stay for an hour. We'll each have a few beers and leave. Yeah. So there like wasn't enough for Tony.
Yeah.
Like we just planned on like coming, let's slam these beers, like get some entertainment and go,
my first strip club.
Yeah. Yeah. So we didn't share with him, and then he got super sour.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that was bad.
That was the night.
And that led to Tony leaving the band, actually.
Yeah. Damn.
So, yeah, I mean, to tell the story, we're like trying, like, this is going back to not having GPS. We're trying to find the crash pad after the strip club, and we're getting lost. And we just can't find anything because we have like a little bit of directions from the guy that told us like how to get to the strip club, right? Yeah. Like here's how you get back or whatever. We're trying to work our way backwards on the directions. And we get lost, and like so we pull off into this parking lot, and me and Ryan are arguing, like we're like yelling at each other, like you fucked up, no you fucked up, no you fucked up, or whatever. And Tony hangs his head out the window. He's like, "Hey, why don't you guys stop being a bunch of?" He said the other F word. And get back in the van, I was like, what? And like, I just snapped because like, I was just mad, I was like, get out of here, like, come at me, bro, stupid,
Yeah.
And then like Tony was, I mean, I don't know, no one wants to be yelled at like that, so he was like, dude, I fucking quit the band, like, San Diego's my last show, And I was like, dude, if you're quitting I was like, are you serious? Like, you're going to quit the band? He's like, I fucking quit, dude. And I was like, if you're serious about quitting the band, like, you don't get to choose when your last show is, dude. Yeah. You know?
Your last show's tonight.
I was like, your last show's tonight. Here's $100. Get out of the van. Get out of the fucking van. Damn. You know? And like, I think he was just like, oh, give me a ride back to the crash pad and I'll get out. And then whatever. So we drove him back to the crash pad. Eventually we found it and he got out and he like went into the trailer and got his fucking drums and just like chucked them like into the fucking street. Like, ugh. And then, like, we went, and Nick, the other roadie, didn't go to the strip club. So we went in and got him, and we're like, hey, Nick, like, we got to go. He's like, what are you talking about? Like, it's like 11 p.m. or midnight, like, you know? And he's just like, what are you talking about? We're like, tour's over, dude. Yeah. Tony's out of the band. And we fucking got back in the van and drove home and left Tony in Texas. And,
no way.
Yeah, and it was weird, too, because, like, at the time, we were all fucking mad. And we, like, drove off. And then, like, I think I slept because Ryan usually did, like, the first night drive. He'd take, like, the first 5 hours. And then he'd wake me up at, like, 5 or 6 in the morning in the night drive. And, we woke up, like, a couple hours, like, east of El Paso. And I remember being, like, awake as, like, the sun's coming up. And we're driving in El Paso. And it's, like, that beautiful, like, orange, like, that desert shit, you know. You only like one of the greatest things about touring is like seeing that, right? The sunsets and the sunrises in the desert, and I just remember thinking like, whoa, Tony's like 10 hours back that way, like there's literally no going back, like there's no going back and then I called up Matt, who plays drums for Retaliate now, and was like, can you learn all the songs in 3 days? Like, because we're planning on playing that San Diego show. Yeah. So we had to cancel 2 shows and then went back and practiced one day and then finished a tour in San Diego.
Yeah.
It was a fun, great show. And we played that show before Tony made it back on the Greyhound.
Yeah.
That's what I was about to ask, how he got back home.
I think he just, I mean, I never talked to him about it, to be honest with you. I'm cool with him now. But obviously that was like a pretty fucked up thing to have happen. Yeah. And I still don't know like who's in the right.
I think it was just one of those things that it was like, well, you know, fuck you. Well, let's see who has bigger balls right now. And then it just like, when it was all said and done, it's like, oh shit. Well, now I can't go back because I've already said these things. And then you're like, well, I can't go back because I already said these things. So it's just like, that escalated I think it escalated too fast and there was just no going back from it. You know, it wasn't really who's in the wrong, you know, it was just one of those things where, you know, I
just felt bad for Al. Like Tony's dad is so cool.
Yeah.
And he's going to have to like deal with getting out of that situation. Like I actually ran into Al before I ran into Tony after that. I saw him at a Target or something and like apologized to him. Like, hey, sorry I put you in that situation of having to like figure out how to get your kid home from Dallas.
Yeah.
You know, but
on the Greyhound.
Fuck.
That's a long drive.
Yeah, that's wild. But man, I remember the promoter in Arizona being so mad at me for canceling, and I'm like, dude, I don't have a drummer. And he's like, well, so you're playing that San Diego show. I'm like, dude, we're literally like driving 24 hours home. We're going to practice for a whole day with a new drummer and then drive to San Diego.
You were on the phone with him, right?
I was with the promoter?
Yeah. Yeah. I remember him. You're like, dude, I don't know what you expect us to do. Like, it's a 3-hour drive. That's why we're doing the show.
Yeah. If you think about it, Phoenix is only 5. But we needed that whole day to practice.
Yeah, I mean, it was 5, but yeah, it needed the whole day to practice, and it's like, we knew San Diego was going to be good.
Yeah. No, I know.
You know, Phoenix was
never good for us.
I mean, it was okay.
No, it's a good scene, but it was never good for us. Because, like, even if you remember, like, when we played with Bane in, like, Tucson, it was still not great for us.
I mean, even like, with Northside Kings.
Yeah, we played that Northside Kings show, and there was only, like, 60 people.
Yeah, so it was like, okay, well, is it going to be worth even driving to?
Yeah. I mean, it's a great spot for the way home.
Yeah.
but to like go out there. But honestly, if we could have done it, I would have done it. It's just like, I think we only canceled because we played Dallas. So all we did was we canceled either El Paso or Las Cruces, and then we canceled Phoenix, and then that's it.
Yeah.
We just missed 2 shows.
Yeah.
And so like we literally only had 48 hours. We still had a 20-hour drive.
Yeah.
And then 1 day to practice and then
Yeah.
go to San Diego. It's like, what the fuck do you expect from me? You know?
Yeah.
It's crazy. But that's it. Arizona was sick for lots of reasons. Remember the gay Denny's?
Yeah. Yeah.
Dude, that was sick. I don't know like why it was called that, but like there was I think it was like in the gay part of town. And like, yeah, it was pretty cool. Like it was pretty woke part of town.
Yeah.
You know, we went there and I remember we were like wrestling outside. And like, you remember that guy rolled up on us with a fucking gat?
I remember it.
It was this guy, he was telling us to like stop wrestling and shit. And then we're like, why, dude? What are you gonna like? It was just we're being stupid and having fun. It was like us and Modern Life is War, like wrestling in the parking lot. And like he's like, you guys need to stop wrestling. We're like, why, dude? Why? And he's like, you just need to stop. And he like flashes like his gat. We're like, okay.
Yeah. We'll
Like
stop.
we don't know how like crazy people are, you know?
Yeah.
I'm gonna kill you over wrestling in a parking lot.
But yeah.
I mean, yeah, touring those days were crazy too. I mean, speaking of Modern Life is War, you know, like running into them on tour
Yeah.
was a crazy thing because that was on the first run, and that was like we did their second show.
That was their second show ever?
Yeah.
See, I didn't know that, but I do know that was in their infancy.
Yeah, no, that was their second show ever. I think the only show they had played before was like in a garage or something.
Yeah. Because they put on that show, it was like in a legit hall that they rented.
Yeah.
And yeah, in Marshalltown. And man, they were so cool.
Yeah, because they had that house where they lived in, and they had that garage, and I think they played in that garage.
But I think that was a year apart. So I don't know if they lived in that house yet. Because they're all from Marshalltown where we played that first year.
Yeah.
And then when they went to college, they moved to that other town, I think.
So no, I think what did we play? Yeah, because it was in Cedar Rapids. I think.
Yeah. Yeah, it was like, no, yeah, Cedar Falls is where they
Falls,
lived. Yeah. Because Cedar Rapids is like the bigger city.
Yeah.
And this is like, we went to Cedar Falls.
Yeah. But yeah,
So.
I mean, but yeah, we did their second show, and that was crazy because they did a couple more shows with us.
Yeah, and they were good.
Yeah, they were insane for their second show. They were all tight.
I know. They're like one of those bands that like, fuck, they had nothing to do except for jam, huh?
Yeah.
It's like just jam and skateboard.
Yeah.
And then like in the winter, no skateboarding. All you can do is jam.
Jam, yeah.
Fuck. Yeah, they're so good. So should we fuck with some people? Should we cold call Nick and see if he can tell us a tour story? Do you think he'll pick up?
I don't know.
Let's find out. Let me see how quick I can find someone's phone number on my phone.
Yeah, I mean, what other stuff do we got?
I remember I used to I was go on tour, get a job, quit the job because I'm going on tour. So I never really had money on tour, so I was just I was just really into stealing. So it was just I remember one tour because at first I was just stealing to eat, and then I realized I was like, dang, when you steal, you could eat better. I was like, I don't feel like drinking water. I'll take a gallon of naked juice. I remember just going to Walmart. Sometimes I'd be with friends, and everyone was on the stealing train, so we would just get a fucking shopping cart full of fucking food. And just walk out the store with it, throw it in the fucking van as fast as we can, and just drive off.
Yeah.
And just weird eat. I just felt like royalty eating stolen Walmart food.
Well, do you remember Hot Topic had a no chase policy, right?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah. Because they
Really?
they didn't want to punish punk rock youth and troubled teens.
The kids that were coming in, so they...
That's kind of...
And then
It makes sense.
guess,
It was pretty fucked up if Hot Topic was going to put someone in jail.
people
Yeah.
people caught on to it and were just like, all right,
Yeah.
cool, I'm just going to steal everything. And then they
Someone
nah.
stole and they're like, wait, that's a poser, dude. They're supposed to do that.
That's a poser, dude. All right, let's see if this works.
Speaking of Nicky B, his first roller coaster.
Oh, dude, I forgot about that. Nicky B.
He's probably walking his dogs.
He's definitely walking his dogs.
Nick.
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message
It's
system.
fine.
You want to leave a message?
561.
Yeah, dude, that was fucked. Like, where was that? That was Six Flags, obviously. That was the one outside of Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Because remember, we met up with Angela and Shelly. And yeah, Nick was like really scared of roller coasters, and we're like, just go on one, dude. Like, this one doesn't look that bad. But that roller coaster was actually really fucked up. It was like one of those weird ones. It was like, it went both ways.
Yeah.
Like, oh, it goes frontwards and then backwards. Like, it's like fucked.
Yeah.
You know? And then like, that was a terrible experience for him.
Yeah.
And like,
he definitely hated it.
yeah.
So it's like, he's like, I'll give it a chance.
I know. It's like you wish that you could have gone on like Colossus.
Yeah.
Like, here's just a perfect old wooden roller coaster.
We just didn't know any of the roller coasters. You know, we were just showing up. I think we had left my sister's house.
Yeah, yeah. That's right.
Yeah, because we stayed.
She's outside of Philly.
Yeah, so we would always just go there.
Is she still there?
Yeah.
That's sick.
Yeah.
Let's, for this roadie one, who else should we call? Let's see what the man Thorns is up to.
I wonder how expensive one of those passes would be now, or if they even still do those.
I don't know,
Yeah, they do.
They have to, right?
Probably like $100 for
Yeah.
Six Flags. 150.
Yo,
Hey, what up? You're on the podcast. We're doing a road dog podcast.
are you?
Yeah. How are you doing, Thorns?
I'm good. I'm actually on the road right now in Connecticut.
Dude, perfect. Albert's here too.
He's with Jimmy Eat World.
Oh shit. Yeah, and Luis from the Take Offense Roadie.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, dude. So where are you at? You're in Connecticut and you're with Jimmy Eat World?
Yeah. Are you recording this right now?
Yeah, so don't say any of the bad words.
Can I give you a call back in like 5 minutes?
Dude, you can.
I'll call you back in 5 then.
I see ya.
All right.
Do you got a Thorns story?
What's up?
Do you have a Thorns story?
Nothing great.
Because he's another one that ended up being like full lifer on the road.
Yeah.
So he's with Jimmy Eat World right now, but he goes out with Cannibal Corpse, which is fucking sick. He said like he has to hang out with like Corpse Grinder every night and drink with him. That's one of his jobs, which is pretty gnarly.
Yeah.
And that's like a dream job of mine, is hanging out with Corpse Grinder every night and drinking with him.
Yeah,
See if he could work it out for you.
I know.
Take some time off.
I know. That wild. I remember when Thorns came out here. He acted a lot tougher than he was. Not that he was trying to be a tough guy, but he was, I think, trying to be serious.
Yeah.
And Thorns is just, once he opens up to you, he's one of the funniest guys there is.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's when you can actually fall in love with Thorns. Is once you get to know his real personality. And at that time, it was like, he was just a little guarded.
Well, because he was the fucking, I'm from New York.
Exactly.
You know,
he's like always wearing a bandana.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, how we do it in New York.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thorns from the Hamptons.
Anyway. All right. Let's pause these.
All right.
We got Thorns, the superstar roadie, other than Albert. The two best roadies in the fucking world. On the phone together.
And we've actually, he's covered gigs for me and vice versa.
Oh, yeah? Like
Worked
if
together too on the road.
like if one of you guys gets busy, like you can sub out?
Yep.
Yeah, he's also a lot of times you hire people to help you in a city, and there's been times in Charlotte had Albert help me out, and there was a tour last year that I couldn't do the first part, so I got them to hire Albert for it.
That's so sick. I love that like some of our original dudes like got to break off and like do it as like a living.
Yeah, it's definitely like coming from a hardcore background, it sets you up to excel in this world.
Yeah, because like you're used to talking to like the biggest freaks, right? So you can adapt to anything.
Yeah, and we're used to, DIY shows in a shitty van, just makeshift merch areas. So when you get to the professional level, it's a cakewalk from there.
Yeah, you don't got to set up like on a car that doesn't work in a junkyard.
Yeah, I have not been to Hammer House on tour.
Oh shit!
Makes you appreciate the other stuff.
Yeah. So what's that? That's a trip the two bands are jumping between Jimmy Eat World and Cannibal Corpse. What is what's the difference?
difference. There's definitely a pay difference. Metal doesn't pay that great. The Cannibal Corpse thing happened when I was available, so I took it. Been friends with those dudes for a while and love that band since I was like 12 years old. Metal crowds are easier for me to relate to because those are my people. But also Jimmy Eat World fans are a little more timid and chill. So it's definitely, you got to know how to put on the different hats and how to talk to the different crowds.
Yeah, but Jimmy Eat World is only like maybe one scene adjacent, right? Because there was so much emo in like the 90s that they're kind of like right there.
At the level they're at now, most of their crowd are just normal people. You definitely see like some of the emo kids still coming out. You know, you see a couple hardcore kids every show. I think last night in Boston, I saw like a Girl Biscuit shirt out in the crowd. Tonight, I saw some girl with an Old Firm casual shirt. So you get some of that, but the bulk of their crowd is just kind of more normal these days.
He loves the real knuckle draggers.
But also, I mean, for a Jimmy Eat World crowd, I got to be a little more respectful when they're being a pain in my ass. Whereas Cannibal Corpse, fans, I could just fucking yell at them and make fun of them, and no one's gonna care.
Yeah, the best Cannibal Corpse just came through with Morbid Angel here, and the Morbid Angel singer, like, because there's so many Mexican dudes that are into death metal, and he's all, "This song goes out to my satanic Hispanics."
I remember that.
So
well, it's funny on the Cannibal Corpse tour. It was in Europe, and we were in Bratislava, which was Slovakia. And early on in the show, I see like this white power skinhead dude walk in, like shaved head, like could see all the patches on his jacket. I'm like, oh, it's a Nazi. Great. About half an hour later, he comes up to the merch table. Super nice, super polite. His English was pretty good, and he's like, "Are you having a good time here in Bratislava?" "Yeah, it's been all right day today." It's like, "Oh, glad to hear that. Can I get that Cannibal Corpse shirt in a large, please?" "Yeah, you can." I sold it to him. He shook my hand, said thank you, and walked away. So I was surprised. I was like, all right. He was a Nazi, but he wasn't being a piece of shit. And also in that capacity, just because he's a Nazi, I can't just start swinging on him. Like, it's not a hardcore show. So he walks away. But later on in the night, like, I ended up having to punch like 4 different people for like jumping on my merch stand or like banging their whole bodies against the barrier, but that was keeping me away from the crowd. So at the end of the night, I was all wound up and pissed off, and I was like, how did I punch 4 people and one of them wasn't the Nazi?
Right.
Like, why was the Nazi like the nicest dude I dealt with tonight?
Because you're a Nazi. Just kidding.
Why was it not like the Built to Last Shay show when I was taking grocery divider and mini bets to Nazis?
I know. Thorn's got his licks in on White Warrior.
But yeah, like besides me and Albert, there's a lot of hardcore dudes not even doing merch, like tour managers, guitar techs, a lot of people from our world just made that jump, and it's awesome. Like, even if I don't know, there's a lot that I know, but first day of tour and you see some dude and he's got like, whatever shirt, like if he's got a Dr. No shirt on, you're like, whoa, dude, you like Dr. No? And, right there, you already have like a little bit of brotherhood between you, and you kind of get where each other are coming from.
Yeah, hardcore, even though it's so like all-encompassing, it still is like a little bit of a secret handshake.
Yeah, and to tie things in, like my current tour, my tour manager, he's originally a Jersey guy. He lives in San Diego now. He's actually super tight with Dave Kennedy.
That's sick.
And I actually just sent him a photo that you posted for the podcast episode with Bert and Aaron.
Yeah.
There's an old photo of Built to Last and a young-ass Dave Kennedy.
I know he
so
looks...
I cropped Dave Kennedy out of it and texted that to my tour manager, and he just started laughing.
Dude, Bert looks so young in that photo. I don't know when it could have been. It's like...
Come on, Bert never looked young.
Well, that's what's so amazing about that photo. Is Bert looks young as shit. I think he's looking away from the camera, which helps.
Yeah.
But
Bert was born old. Same with Don.
but that's what's crazy about that photo is like they look so young, but it's not like early built to last if Aaron's already in the band. Like he didn't join until the self-titled.
Yeah.
But yeah, so do you want to wrap with a tour story, Thorns? You got anything crazy?
There's a lot of crazy ones. I'm trying to think of one that I can actually tell.
You'd be thinking on that for a while.
So I'd say easily the craziest band I ever worked for was Watain.
Can you explain what they are?
For those that don't know, they're a black metal band from Sweden who are Satanists and not in the just, we're going to have upside down crosses and pentagrams and sing songs about, like, they live it, they breathe it, they cover themselves in animal blood when they play and perform rituals. They're straight maniacs.
Okay.
They operate more as a biker gang than an actual band in some ways.
Okay.
So we had a show in Toronto. Some guy comes up to the merch table and just starts talking to me, talking shit to me about the band. This is all fake. This is Hollywood bullshit. They're sellouts. Each time he kept coming over and saying something, I'm like, listen, man, go talk to your friend that you came here with about it. Like, why are you coming up to the guy that's with the band and talking shit? Finally, like, after 5 times of him coming up and talking shit to me and telling me how it's all fake, after telling him, like, dude, it's not fake, trust me. He comes over and starts going on again. So I was like, hey, man, lean in. I got to tell you something. And I smack him right across the face. I go, was that real? That's how as real as Watain is. He runs off. I tell the other 2 merch people on the tour, like, you didn't see that? Like, I don't want the band to find out. A, I don't want to get fired. B, because I was working for Maniacs, I don't want them to, like, cover me in my own blood that night.
Yeah, you don't want to get sacrificed.
Yeah. Word gets out. We're at a bar for an after party, and one of the guitars calls me over. He's like, hey, Thorns, I heard something happen at merch tonight. I was like, oh, yeah. And he's like, what happened? I explain everything. He's like, take my beer. It's like, no, like, I don't want your beer. I'll go get you a beer. I was like, so you're not pissed off? He's like, no. In fact, I love this. Every night, I want you to punch someone in the face at merch. I was like, I'm not trying to just randomly punch people every night. He's like, no, please. Every night, just pick someone out, just punch him in the face. And he just grabs me. He's like, I knew you were one of us. And I was like, cool, thanks, dude. Thankfully, I didn't have to punch anyone else on that tour.
Yeah.
And, yeah, just working for them was crazy. Like, the whole trailer smelled of death because they kept rotting sheep heads in the trailer.
Well, I know. I'm glad.
Real animal blood, like.
That's what I was worried about when you were like, you are one of us. It's like, you're one of us. Tonight, you kill the sheep and actually enter
But
crew.
at the same time, even though, like, I was the only vegetarian and they're covered in animal blood, one of the guys yelled at another band member because they weren't tight. They would keep the animal blood in water bottles in a freezer on the bus to keep for the next show. And one guy yelled at the other guy because he wasn't tightening them, tight enough. He's like, dude, we can't have animal blood, pouring onto his vegetarian riblets. So I was like, thank you guys for looking out for the vegetarian.
It's because your name.
But yes, definitely, like, there's other stories from that tour that I probably legally cannot say, but that was a good one, that Toronto story.
That is a good one. Well, it's good to talk to you, Thorns. Glad you could be part of that.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. It's been hard on the road to keep up with all the episodes because you just keep pumping them out, but been enjoying it. It's a lot of walks down memory lane.
Yeah, for sure.
And I look forward to the follow-up episode where Don just calls me out on everything I said wrong.
Luckily, he wasn't on that tour.
Yeah, luckily he wasn't on that. And I'm sure Dan Sant will say something about me selling PlayStation games at the merch table.
Well, I'm gonna see him again next Friday. So yeah.
Awesome. You guys have a good one. Good to talk to you.
All right. Thanks, Thorns. Goodbye.
Later.
All right. That's Thorns.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Thorns Capricorn.
Thorns Capricorn, the man, the legend.
From New York City, New York.
From fucking, what do you say? From the Hamptons. Thanks, Thorns from the Hamptons. Let's call Nicky B and see what's up.
Yo, what's up?
Hello, this is Jason.
The man, the legend, Nicky B.
What's up, man?
What up? You're on the podcast.
Surprise.
What?
Yeah, dude. We're doing a We Are the Road Crew podcast.
Oh, nice.
So you're just gonna jump in for a minute here, but yeah, we got Luis. He's the rodeo of Take Offense, and then got Albert, of course. He's here in studio, and then we just talked to Thorns, and so we thought we'd call and have you be a piece.
Oh, nice. The all-star cast.
Yeah, dude.
We'll bring in some of our stories. I already told the story of Tony falling out of the van.
That's the best story, though.
I know.
It's those simple little ones, right, that get you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we already told the story about Tony leaving the band.
Oh, okay.
Because, yeah, you weren't there at the strip club that night.
Yeah, I was just at the dude's pad
Yeah, like, what did
playing
you...
the Def Jam game.
The Def Jam game. Yeah, what do you think when we, came in and we're like, hey, we got to go?
I don't know. I was actually a little relieved because I just kind of wanted to go home at that point.
Yeah, it was a long tour.
Yeah, I was kind of over it, and it was what it was. It didn't seem like Tony enjoyed being there, so kind of made sense to me. It all made sense to me.
I remember
It just all kind of worked out.
You just coming in the van, you're like, is this for real? Like,
yeah. It was just like, is this like a drill?
Yeah, I know. We're testing our roadies to see if they're actually down to roll.
Yeah.
Hey, we're ditching our drummer. Are you down?
Yeah, and then just replacing him with Matt. That's never a bad call.
Yeah, I mean, our band got way more handsome.
Yeah.
You know?
Way more shirtless. Sorry, dogs are acting up.
The band got way more shirtless. Oh man. Well, hit us with one, Nick. What do you remember? What's a big memory of touring with In Control?
I remember. Where were we? Some shitty town in Jersey or something, and some chick walks by, and then Albert bangs her in a park 5 minutes later. Yeah,
that's when Albert lost his virginity.
Yeah.
Remember, because she had that dog that looked like it was 200 years old.
Yeah, that was the opener.
Yeah, it was like a wrinkly faced dog, and it was just some
that
girl
easy,
walked by.
folks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're like, man, your dog looks old as shit. And she's like, oh, you guys are funny. And then Albert just followed her.
Yep.
Yeah, I think I had my skateboard.
Sexual burrito time.
Yeah. I had my skateboard, and I went down because she was at a boardwalk. It was right next to the water. And we ended up hanging out, and I start talking to her. And then we walked her to some spot. And she looks at me and she goes, this is going to sound weird, but do you want to fuck? And I was like, yeah, right here. So we ended up doing that. I ended up slipping because it was on the side of a fucking little hill.
And you'd never fucked before.
No, and I never fucked before. So I'm just like, all right, this is going to be wild. I end up scraping my knee, but still keep going. And then after all that's finished, I walked back to somebody's basement that we were playing at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think you gave her a pin. You're like, are you coming to the show later? And she's like, no, I got to go home. So she ends up splitting and then just never talked to her again.
But she got an In Control pin? That's sick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Win-win for her.
Yeah, got the roadie and got a pin.
Yeah, sexual burrito and a pin.
Yeah. It's a good night.
I know. That was a good one, Nick. I totally forgot about that.
Yeah. Just happy to tell it. It was someone else's story.
Thanks, Don.
I know. The only time I ever remember Nick melting out on tour was, do you remember, like, there's only Del Taco in, like, California, Nevada, and Arizona, but then, like, for some reason, they have them in fucking
St. Louis.
St. Louis, yeah.
Yeah, and do you remember, like, they kept giving you, like, a quesadilla with some shit in it?
With chicken, yeah.
Oh, with chicken, over and over.
Yeah, and then I saw, like, my chickenless quesadilla just sitting there, and so I yelled at the manager about it.
Yeah, it like stormed out and shit.
Yeah,
and we were like so hungry, you know. And then like he stormed out, and then I was like, "Can I just have the one that
Hollywood
doesn't have
Grande
chicken?"
right there.
Yep, Hollywood Grande.
Yeah.
You know, and I was like, "Can I just have the one without chicken?" And brought it to you. You're all, "Thank you, thank you."
Oh, thank you, sir.
Sometimes you gotta walk out with your head held high, huh?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Because they fucked it up. Like, dude, it was like 3 times. Like,
Yeah,
I seriously
uncalled
think
for.
they gave it to you like 3 times with chicken. Like, dude, are you
Yeah,
fucking
the
with
same
me?
one
For
over
real?
and over. Yeah, same one over and over again. Well, I can see the one I need in my field of view.
I know. Oh, there's the magic one back there. But all right, dude. Well,
Yeah,
say whatever the dogs.
that's the
for
best
us.
I got is a Del Taco story.
Well, that's your only meltdown. I'm trying to say how much of a pleasure it was having you on tour. If the only time you melt down is one time over food, then you're like a godsend, right?
Yeah.
So,
I'm cut out for life on the road, I would say.
Yeah,
Just not too long.
that's the hard thing, right? It's like it takes a legit like, I don't know, what's the shortest you could possibly do a tour and have it be like break even? You got to spend at least 3 weeks.
3 weeks.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, and actually a 3-week tour would probably be perfect.
Yeah.
But like if you actually want it to be profitable, you got to go for longer and smaller drives and more paydays.
Well, like obviously the smaller the band.
Well, yeah, I mean Iron Maiden can fly their own jet out and just play New York, Toronto, and Los Angeles.
Yeah.
I mean that's the dream.
And just smash.
Yeah. That's the goal.
I know. I mean, one day I'll get a bass player as good as Steve Harris, and maybe it'll happen. But
Roger.
until then, I'm still trying out Alberts. I can't play Give Me Some Reality. But yeah. All right. Thanks for talking, Nick.
Hey, no problem.
All right. See ya.
Take it easy.
So yeah, that's those were the 2 In Control roadies, Nick and Albert. And then I don't know. Do you got any more In Control, or you want to move on to No Motiv? We'll do a little comparison, but I'd like to do it with Max here.
Yeah, the In Control story. Ryan in a frozen lake throwing a big boulder while he's out on the lake. That was a pretty good one.
That's like, I remember us like going and walking on those lakes and shit, and then like showing the video. I think it must have been one of those ones where we came through the Midwest on the way back and showed like the video to Modern Life is War guys, and like they're used to like frozen lakes and shit.
Yeah.
And they were just like jaw open, like, oh my god, you guys are not supposed to do that.
Yeah.
Like people die all the time.
Yeah,
like,
and Ryan's just like, oh, check it out. I'm going to throw this big ass rock on this lake. It's not breaking.
why not?
Yeah.
Let me hit it harder.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, hey, you got to entertain yourself, right?
Yeah.
All right, now we got Max back, second pod from No Motiv. Gentlemen.
Hi.
Repeater 800. Skeptics.
Stand your ground.
Stand your ground. Demo era.
Hardcore legend.
Hardcore legend.
Demo era. I had to throw that in there.
That was Max on the demo with 3 X's. He didn't forget the third X like the Hit the Deck song.
I didn't give myself that name. You're not allowed to do that, right?
Max. Anyway, so we're having Max in because Albert toured with In Control and then he toured with No Motiv. And so, what was the first tour you did with No Motiv?
The first tour was on, Daylight Breaking?
Yeah, I can't remember which band. Was it Vagrant Tour?
No, it was right after the Vagrant Tour.
You never did any of those with us?
No. It was Jeff. It might have been... Jeff was new.
Yeah.
So, it was like his second or third tour.
So
were we in a van?
Yeah.
Do you remember?
Yep, we were in a van.
Yeah.
So that's late. That's late in No Motiv. That's after the third LP.
Yeah.
And Jeff's in the band. So
Yeah, because we had JP with us for like the majority of the touring years.
So Joe did like 2 tours, and then you had JP, and JP was on everything.
Yeah, he was there for like probably 7 years.
Holy fuck!
Yeah, because Joe was just the first 2 tours, which all happened within 6 months, and then JP got in when we started getting serious, and then Albert came in on the last record, which was probably like 3 or 4 tours, right?
Yeah, I came in January 2004.
See, how do you remember that? It's insane.
I don't know.
So, but you don't. I don't remember what bands were on that first tour.
That was the Finger 11 tour.
Oh yeah,
I remember you asked me.
Is that the in the Sour Max on Music period? The horror.
Yeah, there's a lot of chin rock going on.
Chin rock.
that was the opening band that brought like a 30-foot long trailer that had they had like a basketball hoop and like ATCs and stuff in there.
Fuck. Can you imagine? Is that just all label buddy? Like, oh, we got a bunch of money for tour. Let's blow it on fucking ATVs and a basketball.
It's either that or they're just regular dudes that had just been saving up their entire life. It was like their first tour.
Yeah.
You know, so like they must have just like bankrupted themselves.
Well, they were on the same label as Finger 11.
Oh, okay.
That's why they were on the tour.
Yeah, I thought that was Finger 11.
No, they were like a legit, like a real band.
Finger 11 is a real band?
Yeah, they had.
And who's the other band?
I can't remember.
I don't know.
Stillwater, Clearwater. They were total dicks.
Yeah.
We didn't get on with them at all.
The ATV guys were dicks?
Yeah.
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 You think if you have an ATV and a basketball hoop, you're going to be cool.
No, they were like, they were just like bigging themselves up super hard and like came in with a gnarly attitude the first day and like super entitled.
Yeah.
It was like, it was pretty funny, actually.
Yeah, so you hadn't toured with the band in between In Control and No Motiv?
No.
So the last In Control tour would have been in September, October of 03.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what is the difference?
Well, Max comes up to me. We were at a show at the Livery in Ventura. Mm-hmm. Don't remember what show. And he goes, hey, what are you doing? I was like, nothing. He's like, you want to come on tour with No Motiv? I was like, yeah, sure. When? We leave in 2 weeks.
Nice.
I was like, all right.
Did JP just quit like last minute or something?
I can't remember what happened. I think he just moved or
life.
moved on or it was nothing. There was never like a big discussion around it. I think it might have something to do with like we took some time off and that was like right on the transition to when Pat left the band too. So maybe we had enough time off, or JP kind of just started doing his own.
Well, yeah,
thing
you guys did the record.
You know what? He was like actually working for Side One Dummy touring, and maybe he just kind of became like a full-time touring guy, and he just wasn't available anymore.
That was the label that popped up like hard and briefly, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What were they?
They are like all like clout guys. Like
they did like a Kill Your Idols record and a 7 Seconds record. And who were their main bands though?
They put out like a first Flogging Molly record, I think.
Jesus, that's a label. That's a good label.
Yeah, they've got like they're like one of those labels that's got a couple records that kind of just like bolsters their whole, like they'll be like making money off of a couple bands forever. It was like when Epitaph like did like Rancid or something.
Are they're still a thing then?
I don't know. Like the owner of the label, they had like 2 owners on the label, and one of them was this guy Joe Sib, who sang in that band Wax back in the day, and then he was in the band 22 Jacks, which was like him and a guitar player from Adolescence, or he played bass in Adolescence and guitar in that band. But there's like like an LAOC 80s punk characters,
Yeah, like Nitro.
Yeah, kind of a similar vibe.
Are they still around?
No, I don't think so.
I don't even know if Side One Dummy's around either.
I wonder what happened with all those catalogs, because like Missing 23rd, their second record was on like Sessions or some shit, and that's like gone too.
Yeah, like what happens after that? Like, can you it's got to be on Spotify or something, right? But can you still get?
I don't
access to that
know.
stuff?
I don't know if the Missing 23rd is on Spotify, and that's like kind of what fucks it up. Is like you don't know if those labels are going to keep stuff out there. And then who has the rights and stuff, and
especially like CD era, because that's just everything's in obscurity now.
I know. Well, John was saying that they like physically destroyed all the product, and he's like, "Fuck!" Like he like works at a record store, like dude, I'll take the 500 Missing 23rd records. Like, he's got a 6 spread. Like, his house, he has enough room for 500 records.
Yeah, like someone literally was just like, I can't sit on these records, and they just like took them to the dump.
I know. Yeah. I mean, that's what happens. Like, I don't know. I thought Mandel told me about that before. Like, when you're sitting on too many of something, like, you need to physically destroy them instead of, like, I don't know, because it'll bring the price down or something, right?
Oh,
you don't want to, like,
more valuable because there's fewer of them.
I don't think it's like that, but, like, you can't go flood the market. You don't want your shit all in Dollar Bin City.
Yeah,
like, I don't know what you do.
I stole my first Vandals tape out of a dollar bin.
There you go.
And a Subhumans tape too. So
they were in the dollar bin at some point.
Yeah, that record store in Santa Barbara on State Street. You remember that spot?
Yeah, Just Play Music.
They had great like budget bin for tapes.
Yeah, that store was cool. It was kind of like Wild Planet, but leaning toward more on the music side, right?
Yeah.
It had like bongs and shit too, right?
From what I recall, but I just remember noticing like they had like all the tapes were in milk crates, and the cash wrap was like 8 feet. I mean, it was like I think I was like 12, and it went up to my nose,
Yeah.
And they had all the tapes like in crates at the bottom of the cash wrap.
Yeah.
And so me and my buddy would just sit there and like stuff our pockets full of tapes. And
yeah.
Remember that guy caught us, and he was kind of like, whatever. Like
I know.
He went to the trouble to chase us down and stop us, and then he's like, "What'd you guys take?" We were like showing him, and he was like, "Whatever, just fucking take them."
Yeah, because what are they paying on a dollar tape?
Yeah, he was probably stoked. Like, oh, cool, Subhumans. Like, let's get.
I know. Yeah. Good choice.
Go for it.
Good choice, kid.
Someone's taking care of these.
Yeah.
All right, go get them out of my shop.
Yeah. So on that first No Motiv tour, comparing it to In Control, what was like the big difference?
We were a lot more boring than they were, I'd imagine, right?
It was definitely different. I mean, we had. It started off. I mean, weird. Like, I waited for them for 3 days. We had no cell phones at that time. Well, I didn't have a cell phone. I waited for them for 3 days because I didn't know what day we were leaving. We were supposed to drive from California to Providence, Rhode Island.
Okay.
And we had to do that trade. We're like, all right, we're leaving on Friday. So Friday comes, I'm sitting at my parents' house waiting by the phone. Nothing. I call them at the end of the night, like, yo, we're leaving tomorrow morning. Be ready. Saturday comes up. Nothing. I call them at the end. I'm home the whole day. Saturday I call them, like, yo, what's up?
Like, you can't leave your house because you think they're going to come pick you up and you're going to miss the tour?
Yeah. So that comes like, oh, we're still doing stuff. We're leaving tomorrow morning. So Sunday, I was like, all right. So I kind of go out and do stuff and then come back and then call them. And finally they come, like, it's like maybe like 11:30 and they come, we're picking you up. I was like, all right. Oh, well, we have to drive to Orange County to Roger's brother's house first. So then we drive there and then we take off. So that's the first experience. I was like, oh, all right then.
You guys drive all the way to Providence.
Yeah.
Fuck. How many days did you allow yourself?
I think we jammed out there, didn't we?
Yeah, we
just did like the 3-day style.
Yeah.
Like just straight through. We only did that twice because I remember we drove to Atlanta one time too to start a tour.
Like, did you stop?
We didn't stop to sleep.
You didn't stop to sleep?
No. We just took shifts and fucking powered it.
We had baller money too. I remember one of the first things is on maybe day 2 or something, maybe day 1, day 2. Jeff's like, yo, we need to stop at a hotel so we can get showers. And like,
we just stopped and showered?
Yeah, we literally just stopped at the hotel. Everyone took a shower. We got back into the van and kept driving.
Like a Motel 6 or something, right?
Like
yeah.
That's cool.
Who's an RX Bandits used to call Slow Motive.
Yeah.
So that story is a testament to that.
Oh, yeah.
Did you tour with them? With us?
No. I just missed that. We stayed at their house, though. Huh. We stayed at maybe Joe's house.
Crazy. So you were really just around for like the very end when we were doing weird stuff.
Yeah.
Like that, Andrew WK.
Yeah, I did
it. The headlining stuff.
Yeah, and then we did Canada with Finger 11.
That's a terrible band name.
It's just a different scene,
Like, what does it mean, Finger 11? It's like your dick?
No, it's... They told us.
Like, what the fuck?
They're a Canadian, rock band.
It still doesn't
yeah,
explain what the band name means.
They were called something else, which was a weirder name.
It might have been it though. I mean, it might have been like a name they had from when they were young, and it was a stupid name. But they took themselves really seriously though. So like, either they were stuck with the name, or like it means something that's like beyond like.
Well, it's like you guys take yourself really seriously when you can't spell motive.
Yeah, well, I was literally 14, so I get a pass on that one.
I know, but they get it too after they name their band after their dick.
Yeah.
I remember they were like, you know, like their guitar player was like reading like Kafka books and stuff. Like they were like, you know, intellectuals.
Yeah.
They're intellectuals because they have a finger weapon.
They were like crazy musicians too. Like the bass player, I remember being a really good musician. Like,
yeah, they were shredders.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah,
they just played like alternative music. So
yeah,
it was kind of out of our. We had like a little bit of a blind spot to that scene.
Who's better, that guy or Steve Choi?
Steve Choi? No, Steve's better. I mean, he's a legit.
Like, Steve's a crazy guitar player.
Yeah. Shout out Steve Choi.
Yeah, shredder.
Yep. So, but anything else you notice? Like it's just nice thing and stop for showers.
No, I mean,
because they're towards the end of the road, so they're all bitter and jaded, like we were, right?
Yeah, it was just it was a different dynamic. It wasn't anything weird, you know. We were doing per diems. You know, they had been an established band, for a long time.
And you were a fan,
yeah.
So it's fun to get to see them, right?
Yeah, it was good to see them. You know, it was. I mean, it was definitely a different dynamic. You know, we were playing bigger venues.
Yeah, because so with us, I should explain. I can't believe I never explained this. We brought out Nick, who was on the phone just now, and we brought out Albert. And Nick was like kind of in charge of the merch because he was like really meticulous and responsible, and Albert was just kind of a roadie. Like I don't know what your responsibilities were other than moshing. Right, because we told you. I remember we told you. We're like, you have to mosh for the first song and the last song of our set, and then a song of your choice in between.
Yeah.
Did you choose the same song every time?
No.
Huh?
And then it was like, and if you don't do that, like we're gonna fucking leave you like Tony.
I helped load the trailer.
I like how there was a precedent for it. Like we'll leave you like we did the other guy.
I helped load and unload the trailer.
That's right. You did definitely. You and I would say you and Ryan did the majority of that, right?
Yeah.
Because Ryan was also a roadie.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So.
Did you? You did Roger already before.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did he tell you about when we got robbed in New York? Did you tell that story?
Yeah.
Albert would have a funny take on that one.
Yeah. Like how it seems to me is that you just wouldn't even thought that it was you getting robbed, right? It's just someone coming in the van, like
it was just so many people coming in.
Normal, like someone poking in for their hoodie or something.
Yeah,
it totally escapes me though. Like the amount of shit they took. It's like
you were sleeping.
It's like God, they're coming back to the van again. Like those guys must have been total pros because it must have all happened within like 5 minutes or something, and like
maybe less than that because everything was grabbable.
Yeah, and my recollection of it was that like it was like that sound that like. When one of the bandmates comes in just to grab something like his toilet kit out of his bag real quick, it felt like that. Like
they were doing something, dude. They were like
they probably had like a bucket line. You know what I mean? Like 6 crackheads like going into the alley, and they were just like handing things off to the next guy.
I mean, they were definitely pros because they knocked out the little thing for the key.
Oh yeah, they did the screwdriver move.
Yeah. Oh, it was locked.
I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, I was under the assumption that it was unlocked.
No, they popped it out. I mean, we popped it back in, but it was definitely like they knew what they were doing.
Man, that seems like that could have woken you up, dude. Now you should have woken up.
But it could have also sounded like someone's key going in, you know. And you know, to be fair to Max, we were up a lot. You know, we had a lot of late nights. You know, we were doing a lot of driving because we're following a bus.
Yeah.
You know,
you guys were in a van following a bus. Oh, it was Andrew WK?
Yeah. That one was Andrew WK. Yeah, we had already been on tour for... I mean, we did the first... That was like the middle of the second tour we were on. And it was, you know, already a couple months into touring. So we were all pretty tired. So him just, you know, sleeping. It wasn't... And it's New York, you know.
One thing he didn't say, and we didn't go into, is like, who discovered that you guys had been robbed, and what was the reaction?
Well, my recollection of that whole thing too is that when that was happening, I think the band, because Murphy's Law played that night, and so the rest of the band went to Manitoba's with the Murphy's Law guys, and they were there until like 4 a.m. or something.
Yeah,
and probably hammered when they got back to the van too.
Yeah,
so like it's all like pretty hazy, you know. Like I remember the one thing I remember is that it was like a slow realization of like what had happened. It's like you're looking for one thing and then you're like, fuck, where the
yeah.
You know?
Well, I think it was the manager because he had
look for his laptop.
He had his bag with his laptop and all his shit because he flew in for that show.
Mm-hmm. He showed up just in time to get robbed.
Yeah, so he's like, where's my backpack? Because it was time for him to go to his hotel.
Yeah,
where's my backpack? And then we're like, I don't know, it should be in there. Oh, well, where's this? And it sucks because like all of Mac's shit got stolen. Like literally everything he owned was in his bag. So besides the clothes he had on, I had all my clean laundry taken. Like there was maybe an Xbox taken, games, and then Jeremy.
If you're looking for Xbox games, Thorns will sell them back to you.
Yeah. Jeremy thought that he had all his stuff stolen too. So he's bummed. He's like, "Oh, all my stuff got stolen." A wedding picture of his wife at the time, and like a leather jacket, a lighter that his friend had given him, like all this stuff that he thought was gone. And throughout the tour, he kept finding it. So it was just,
you got everything back.
Yeah, he literally got everything back. Like, oh, I found my picture. It was just under the seat. Oh, I found the lighter.
So he got to like be a part of all the sympathy in the beginning, but then like inevitably got all his shit back.
So Max is just sitting there pissed because like
the shirt is too big for me because I had to borrow it from someone, or like it's like freebie from one of the bands.
And Jeremy's just like stoked because he's finding stuff in the van. Like, oh, dude, my jacket! It was here the whole time. Like, oh, nothing ended up getting taken from me.
What is it? Was it his giant size lighter?
No, it was a strap.
You remember that? That thing actually worked. That giant Zippo. He had a Zippo that was like 6 inches tall, and he's just one of those random things he would find somewhere.
That would be so funny if he thought that was gone, and then, oh, hey, here it is under the seat. I got it. It's like, that'd be the ultimate rub-in. Like,
I know.
Oh, somehow his Zippo is safe, and I lost all my shirts. But that's that's wild that he took like clothes.
They just grabbed everything.
It was just bags.
Everyone's got like some story of getting robbed, and like that's like a pretty mild. The only thing that makes that story interesting is the fact that we were actually asleep in the van when they like stole everything. But we got off pretty easy. Besides, I'm sure the manager's laptop was covered in stuff anyway. But like what Strung Out got robbed a few years ago, and they literally like. The story I heard about this is like the band pulled up to their hotel and every single person got out of the van and walked in, and someone just got in and drove off with it. So they literally just took everything, their trailer with all their gear in it, and like, so we got off pretty easy if you think about it.
Yeah, I've heard like a bunch of stuff of people's like trailers getting stolen and shit, but I just don't have that much sympathy for that. Like, what do you like? Okay, you're getting lazy and like trusting that you can just leave your trailer at a gas station and like going off. Like, we had someone sleep in the van every single night. Like, there was no taking it off. And sometimes that sucked because it's like, hot. It's hot as fuck. You can't have the AC on all night. And it's like, you might be staying at like a sick crash pad and everyone else is going to fucking, watch like fucking Total Recall and something, and you gotta you're on van duty that night and have to like sweat it out in the van by yourself.
It was usually me and Ryan.
Yeah.
Well, it was usually you and Ryan because a lot of people had pets.
Yeah, so Ryan by default because he was allergic to animals, so it was like, oh, I'm going there.
That was always my favorite. Is like if we showed up somewhere and it's like, fuck yeah, they got a cat. I'm not in the van. I remember where the fuck were we? We stayed after that Suicide File show in like where it just seemed like it was like kind of a sketchy neighborhood in Boston, and so we had like basically we'd always have one person sleep in the van, and then if the area seemed sketchy, we'd have 2 people sleep in.
Yeah,
it's like, well, we might need another body to fight off whatever's coming.
We used to always, no matter what, we'd back the trailer up against like a wall.
Yeah,
and that way it's like. you couldn't even unhook it and move. Because I think that's a move that people do is they just unhook the trailer and drive off with it.
Absolutely.
And so it's like, as long as you have that wall behind the trailer, for any touring bands who are listening to this, like that's like the move, you know?
Yeah. Well, I think a lot of people just disconnect the trailer because they're lazy. Like, if you want to find parking and shit.
Oh, and they'll just like put it off in the corner of a parking lot with a free sign on it.
Exactly.
Now, what they do, I think what they do is they just double park, you know, in a parking spot.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just like at a hotel, someone could easily just be like,
yeah, come and pop it off.
Yep, here you go.
Yeah.
You know, they can break off a lock easily.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's only like a few rules in touring to like keep yourself from getting into trouble. And like, that's like one of them. It's just like, don't leave stuff in the van. And, you know.
Yeah.
That's like, now that like I whenever I see a touring band on the road, you know right away. And so it's like every band on tour is wearing a giant sign on their back that's saying like, here's like a bunch of free shit right here. Like they got stickers all over the windows and they're pulling a trailer and there's like some guy with like, you know, green hair like driving and it's like, yeah, we're gonna score if we rob that thing. Like, undoubtedly.
I know it's surprising that it hasn't happened to more people, right? Like just get robbed. Mm-hmm. Like you think that like that's actually a pretty good little like criminal racket. Is like look through the fucking papers, see when the shows are coming, and just like follow these people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but
like from the club.
At the same time, there's going to be people that don't have shit. You know, you're going to go through all this work, potentially get caught.
That's true. That's true. Like, let's just say I'm a dude and I'm trying to follow the headlining band home, but like, how do you know when 4 vans leave? Like, you might be
it's the opener. God damn it!
It's the opener. Like they just drive to the house. It's like 2 miles away. You're all fuck.
But the crazy thing is, it's like there's the off chance that you get Shattered Realm and you're trying to break into their fucking van. You know, those dudes don't give a fuck.
Was that like tough guys or something?
Yeah, they're crazy, like New York, New Jersey, like
they're
dudes.
Philly, right?
Some
Philly, New
some
Jersey.
Philly, New Jersey.
Yeah.
But like they're all crazy dudes. They don't give a fuck, dude. Like
yeah, that'd be hilarious.
Yeah, like they'll stab you.
Yeah.
You know, so it's just like
allegedly.
No, they're pretty crazy. Yeah, allegedly.
I don't know, man. I don't remember anything from touring.
I know. I feel like I've gone through it all.
Yeah.
And also, too much touring kills too many brain cells, so can't remember everything.
I know. I lean on guys like you, Albert, to remember everything. So
yeah.
If there's anything good, it's up to you to bring it up because I'm like at a loss here.
Well, we did. I mean, the difference was, the establishment. We did per diems.
I feel like In Control did fun stuff like on tour. Like
yeah,
you guys would go like jump off of bridges and like
we definitely did a lot of like. I mean, we had a time to kill. You know, we weren't on a set schedule. We were the headliner, so we were doing stuff in between. We were going to roller coasters. You know, with us, it was like on a time. You know,
you had to be there at like 3 p.m. or something, right, for sound check.
Yeah, we had to be there to load in. You know, and get ready and do all this stuff. So it was the professionalism. You know, which is
I think that's how Roger sums it up. It's fucked up doing these episodes because like they're kind of on a delay. Like the Roger episode comes out in 2 days, but it was funny because he talks about starting touring with you guys. He's like, when I started touring, that's when I realized like, there was a time that we were supposed to show up, and usually you'd show up, and there was always someone really angry with you for being late. Show up and get yelled at. I think he was talking about Warped Tour. It's like, show up, get yelled at by the guy that says you're supposed to be here.
Yeah.
You're supposed to be here at this time and over there.
Yeah. Or any of the package tours too was like there was always like some kind of a driver, like the tour manager was always kind of just hard on you. It's like working construction or something. It's like you're gonna get hazed no matter what you do.
Yeah.
Like if they tell you to go faster, then if you go faster, it's like we'll do it better.
But then if you show up too early, you have to like sit there and wait. It's like, oh, you're too early. Go do something.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of like, okay, well, now we have to figure out what to do for 2 hours.
Yeah.
There's a lot of hurry up and wait for sure.
Yeah.
Go play spades, dude.
Yeah.
That's like the majority of what I think what we did on tour was sit in Taco Bell or Starbucks and play spades. Yeah. Like free air conditioning and refills and entertainment.
Well, we had Xbox Ones on one of the vans. Yeah. 2 TVs.
My brain was melted after that tour.
Yeah, and Roger wasn't...
I couldn't even close my mouth all the way.
Yeah, Roger wasn't a video game guy. So he would do the driving.
We were just playing Halo for like 9 hours at a time.
Yeah, yo, Raj,
Jesus.
you want to drive? Sure.
Yeah, that was not the most,
I mean, you guys let loose a lot after that. On those tours, it was just kind of like, all right, fuck it, let's go do this.
Yeah, you guys knew what your expectations had been tempered by then, right? You weren't with it wasn't like going to the second album with Pat, like trying to, like we're gonna maybe break through or something. Like,
Yeah,
if you're on your
emotions, I think.
well, if you're on your third tour off the third record, you kind of know where you're landing.
Yeah.
So it's like then you said you were able to have some fun, like you'd blow through the band money and shit.
Yeah, we kind of just stopped giving a fuck at that point.
Yeah, we'd go eat Waffle House.
Really treat ourselves.
Yeah. All right, this is on the band. Cool. So we'd spend.
You could even get smothered.
Yeah.
And covered and diced if you
Yeah, we
Sure can.
get them
Yeah.
add-ons,
we spent probably like $50-$60 at Waffle House between 5 guys.
which is like a total smorgasbord
Yeah.
there.
So we were just going crazy. You know?
Waffle House in the South is the best. Like they have them in like Phoenix and shit.
Yeah.
But it's like a normal like restaurant.
No,
kind
in the
of.
South, you will actually run into a couple line dancing to the jukebox in there.
Yeah, and I
it's
feel like everything is a la
shit.
carte and 99 cents. Mm-hmm. Although that's a perspective that's 20 years old.
Well, I mean, it used to be. That's the thing. It used to be really cheap.
Yeah.
You can get a triple hash brown for $2.
Yeah.
I also kind of like that mid how all the diners out there still smell like cigarettes, and so you kind of walk in and it's that smell of like coffee and cigarettes and breakfast. I don't know, that's like a thing you don't experience anymore.
But like at 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah, all hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Waffle House is good.
What other stories do we got for No Motiv?
That might be it. Actually, man, I thought our bands were fun and they were kind of boring after all.
A little bit.
This was just all a waste of time, dude. Mm-hmm. I should have gotten my master's. Fuck.
I know. we were too busy feeling positive about it, not being psychopaths. We toured with a lot of bands that are crazy, but it's I feel like it's just a big blur for them. It's at least we got to and you guys did cool shit, which is you took advantage of the fact you were traveling everywhere, and that's all that matters.
But I think that's important, and I think bands should do that, especially if you're not on a time schedule. If you have the ability, you don't have to get to the show till 6, or even if you are on a time schedule, you gotta get there 3. Leave early, whatever, because you're driving through America is fucking sick, dude. It's got every different type of fucking topography, right? You can be in the mountains, you can be in the desert, you can be all over the fucking place, and it's a goddamn shame if you travel the country and don't do something cool.
Just play Halo the whole time.
That's kind of psycho, right? Although in your defense, Halo is brand new and super sick. I mean, I remember Tony Hawk Pro Skater coming out and being this is all I want to do. Yeah. For months, right? So it's I mean, imagine that first month, that's you playing Halo. It happens, Or fucking, Family Guy just came out on DVD. Well, I know what I'm doing the next 3 days.
Yeah. It's been 10 years of touring and seeing the landscape. It's all right.
Yeah. It's but I just think that if you're young and you're driving in the area and it's there's a little bit of snow over there, fucking go sled it.
Right?
Yeah.
Go fucking tackle a snowman.
It's free. Yeah. Go fucking make a snowman and kick his fucking head off. I don't know. Some of the stuff was dumb. We shouldn't have walked on the lakes and stuff.
No.
But that was fun as fuck.
I just mean when people tell tour stories, it's usually about a fight they got into.
Yeah, which is lame.
Or shenanigans or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's I remember one time we thrashed a dressing room, and I felt like such a dumbass after I did it. I was I tried to do the John Bonham thing, and I just feel like an asshole.
Yeah, but instead I feel I tried to be John Bonham, but I ended up feeling like the guy from LA Guns.
Exactly. Just feel like a foo,
Yeah.
So, I mean, you get a little bit of that out of your system, and you start realizing what kind of opportunities there are.
Yeah, I had an unfair assessment, though, of No Motiv, because I caught him at the later days, where it was just kind of okay, whatever. We're just going to do whatever it takes to get us there.
Yeah, but you wouldn't say we were jaded, right? Did we act jaded?
No,
Yeah.
no, but it was just kind of whatever. Let's just not argue. Let's just do it this way. And
Yeah.
That way it's done.
Don't ask too many questions.
Yeah, you know, like Jeremy wanted to get a per diem for a leather jacket, so we got that.
I love how that comes up in like every.
Yeah, Jeremy wanted a per diem for a tattoo. We did that.
That's sick, though. Yeah. I think that would have been a good idea, huh? Per diem for a tattoo and get a tour tattoo.
Yeah, we did that. I got one. Max got one in Houston.
No, I didn't get one in Houston.
Yeah, you did. We got it together.
It must have rubbed off because I don't have it.
Did you?
What?
I thought you did. We went together because I got the Misfits tattoo.
I remember that, but I didn't get tattooed that day. I went with you.
Okay. I thought you had.
No solidarity, man. I'm sorry.
Ah, that sucks.
Yeah. Well, touring's cool. Everyone should do it. And stay positive.
Don't thrash the dressing rooms.
Don't thrash the dressing room like that fucking food from LA Guns.
If you're from Oxnard, don't be a fool. Follow my clothing, Death Race Clothing.
Oh, yeah. Let's get a shout for that. Why don't you say it better? Like, say it so people can understand it for real.
Yeah,
you're like mumbling.
Stuff too, like,
deathraceclothing.com.
Yeah, go to deathraceclothing.com. If you're from Oxnard, follow me. And Instagram, Death Race Clothing.
Why is it only from Oxnard?
Yeah, you can only buy it if you're from Oxnard?
No, but support me if you're from Oxnard.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Definitely pay Albert's light bill if you live in Oxnard.
Yeah.
You gotta buy a shirt.
Yeah, pick up a shirt.
But if you're in El Paso and you want to look sick, you can also go to deathraceclothing.com.
If you're anywhere.
Yeah, I bought a sweatshirt.
Yeah.
But I was here in San Diego, so I think I'm going to return it now.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, not allowed.
Yeah. Deathraceclothing.com. Handle business.
Yep.
All right.